Hello everyone, welcome back to Size Eyes on the Skies. I'm going to be your host, Sam Schreier. So we've experienced a bit of snow today, and a little bit of warm temperatures. Are we going to get more snow as the week continues? Are we going to get less? Is it going to stick? Well, I'll keep you guys informed. You stay tuned to Size Eyes on the Skies after the break.
It's Wednesday night on ISU TV. Broadcasting live from Ames, Iowa. This is Size Eyes on the Skies. ISU TV's longest-running television show brings you the weather around the country, in Iowa, Ames, and beyond. The Iowa State Meteorology Department's team of forecasters keeps you ahead of the next weather system. Size Eyes on the Skies starts now.
Welcome back everyone to Size Eyes. I'm joined with Tyler, Roney, and Rachael Witter, two seniors, to help us guide through the show with their wisdom. So how are you two doing?
Great. Miserable after a wet day though.
Absolutely. We did see the flakes fly.
Yeah,
again.
it was a very wet, sloppy mess out there. There was accumulation this morning, and then halfway through the day it was gone, and it was just like...
You know, it was the weirdest thing. During the day when that snow was falling, it was like melting, but there was still snow falling. It was the weirdest thing. I'm not sure how that worked, to be honest with you.
I think it was the temperature range that we saw today, but nonetheless miserable. And we are going to get more of a little bit of a mixed, sloppy, wet mess with the next couple days.
It continues, and so do the below-average temperatures.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it looks like by the end of the week, we may get back to around normal. Dare I say it already?
Well, in time for spring break plans, of course, for traveling-wise.
So it will clear up, but just as you're probably packing up and heading out of the state.
Well, there's a small chance, isn't there, tomorrow or maybe later we could have a huge snow flare-up. Is that correct?
We'll cover that more in the Iowa segment, but we aren't going to see as much as anticipated before. Looking back last weekend, that was showing that we were just going to get pounded.
Yeah, I saw a foot of snow last weekend possible, and thank goodness that cleared off.
Temperatures are right around that temperature, so hopefully we'll get mainly more rain or more mix. Hopefully it won't be so much snow.
Yeah, and it looks like this whole system has pushed more to our south. So we're just going to get kind of the tail end of it and not so much accumulation of snow. I mean, no 10 inches or anything like that. But
as a friend of ours said, this is teasing season.
Oh, we really got to quit saying that.
So,
remember that guy?
This is a perfect example of that. We thought we were going to get a bunch, but maybe it's going to scoot off. Maybe we'll see it warm up.
Probably Northwest Iowa might see more.
Very true. But let's look at the day planner.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, we'll check that out for tomorrow. By midnight, we'll see a temperature of around 33 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies. Most of the precipitation has since moved out of the area. But by 6 a.m. tomorrow, we'll reach our low temperature of 29 degrees. The temperature is not going to drop too much, but it is going to be a wet, sloppy mix of mostly snow into the early morning, switching over to rain by midday. And same story for 3 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to reach around 40 degrees. Same old wet, sloppy mess. Those winds aren't going to be too bad, though. So it is going to feel like probably around 40 degrees, and we're not going to see a nasty wind chill. So it's kind of a typical lion of a day March thing. Yeah, so that's what's in store for tomorrow.
All right, well, thank you, Rachael. All right, folks, we're going to send you over to the one and only Tyler Roney with your weather news.
Oh, we're just doing things a little bit differently tonight here on Size Eyes in the Skies. Well, for weather news, it's been an interesting past couple of days, and we're gonna highlight every single realm of weather completely possible. But we're gonna start out with some headlines. There was a tornado outbreak on Saturday. You might have heard about it in the news. There was one fatality associated with that tornado. There was a few reports down in Louisiana, and I'll show you those reports in just a little bit. But also significant snowfall accumulations in the Northeast. Yes, portions of New York, Pennsylvania, Vermont, New Hampshire. Everywhere up in the Northeast got a lot of snow with this system that also affected, coincidentally, Louisiana on Saturday. And also, like we were just talking about, there is a late winter snowstorm about to affect many of us in the Midwest. Many states will be affected by this. But until then, why don't we send it to the computer where we take a look at some different graphics. And we'll start with the current surface map right now. low pressure is going to be scooting out. This is what's going to be really affecting us for tomorrow and into Wednesday. There could be some severe weather down in the south where they've been seeing a lot of that severe weather the past couple of weeks. And this low pressure is going to track up to the north and the east, and that's what's going to bring us our snowfall potential. And now we did talk about it could be more of a mix essentially, but mainly southeast Iowa could even possibly see the chance of thunder, but they should see mainly rain. But once the system passes through, it'll get a little bit cooler. So all of us should see some form of snow. The big question is how much, and that'll be covered later by Rachel, of course. But now let's transition into storm reports from Saturday. Now, like I said, this just affected Louisiana. So there was, I think there was 8 reports down there, 1 fatality, like I said, and 15 people actually got injured for these storms down there. So this could be another story for tomorrow. We'll have to see what ends up happening with that low pressure system depending on its track and its positioning. But let's just keep taking the van up into the north and the east, and we'll take you where the snowfall actually hit. There was some pretty significant snowfall, as you notice, here in New York, Vermont, and behind me here, now this is going to be your grid, so to speak, of how much snow they truly got. Some places got close to 2 feet of snow, and that affected portions all the way up from Maine all the way down to Pennsylvania. Quite a bit of snow. Now, we're not going to be seeing that much snow here, at least in Iowa, of course, but nonetheless, a very, very powerful system creeped up the northeast coast. So we can go back to our classy Genesis machine now, and there it is. All right, let's take a look at Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, indeed, they're going to be seeing a lot of this rain coming up on Wednesday. They're going to be on the warm side of it, as you notice, 47 by Wednesday. Rain and snow hanging on for Thursday, and then, of course, behind me, daylight savings time, folks. It's Saturday, and yes, we do lose an hour of sleep, unfortunately. So that's going to be Cleveland's forecast. They're going to be pretty hard hit by that system. And then finally, we'll take you over to Sioux City, Iowa, where they're going to be hitting a lot of snow tomorrow. They're going to see the possibility of anywhere between about 3 and 6 inches of snow or so. And that's going to be lingering even on Wednesday. They're going to see lows, or highs rather, in the low 30s. Snowman's going to be melting a little bit by Thursday, 40 degrees, and once again, it's going to get a little bit warmer for Friday. I'll get out of your way for 46, and the weekend cools back down just a little bit. But guess what? That's all the weather news I got for you tonight. So now I'm going to send it right back to the desk with the pride of Manson, Sam Schreier.
Oh, thank you, folks. That was the pride of Alta. Now, folks, before the break, let's take a look at the trivia question, please. We could pop that up. So our trivia question tonight was, oh, there it is. Okay. On this date in weather history, a strong low pressure system came through Atlanta, Georgia, much of the eastern part of the United States, and set a record low pressure of, our choices are A, 16 inches, B, 35 inches, C, 29 inches, or D, 2 inches. So stay tuned for that answer after this break. Welcome back, everybody, to Size Eyes on the Skies. I don't know if you can see me on the TV. Oh, there I am. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. We had a little graphics issue. You guys couldn't see me. Little green screen problem. But anyway, let's jump right in with our national weather. So we've got a pretty active United States out there right now, as I'm sure most of you are seeing. Let's start off with tomorrow's temperatures. So down south, be nice and jealous of them. We're going to have 85 degrees down south. And as we climb up, obviously we get colder 50s throughout Oklahoma and Arkansas, then 30s throughout Iowa. That's what we'll be seeing. We may even be seeing a little warmer temperatures as the week goes through. And then obviously up in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, we see those 10-degree temperatures and colder. And now as we take a look at our forecast jet stream, that is sweeping all the way down from the Pacific Ocean. That's going, and we have zonal flow pretty much across the United States there. So we're going to have cooler air up in the northern part of the United States. And down south, obviously, that's bringing that warmer air that's going to persist there for a little bit, obviously. Now let's take a look at our surface map. Heavy snow throughout this band. We've got a large band of snow, as everyone up in Iowa, people, places over in California, Oregon, Washington are seeing. And we've got our heaviest bands of snow right here, here, and here. And they are going to see up to a foot of snow possibly as this system moves through. Plenty of low pressure systems sitting across our country dumping this rain and snow on there. So those systems are going to persist east like most do throughout the week. So that's why Iowa may be seeing a little more of this rain snow as the week continues. Over there, however, on the very eastern coast, they are being pretty much dominated by high pressure. Not a lot going on. There's a cold front sweeping out into the Atlantic Ocean. But otherwise, they are finally experiencing a little bit of break, some good weather. Now let's take a look at our national next strategy. As you guys can see, we got a little bit of snow activity out there over Iowa, parts of Missouri. So we're getting a little snow-rain mixture over there. And then, as you can see, some of this system moving eastern over in the western part of the United States, Nevada, Colorado, they are seeing a bit of rain, snow, and that's going to keep moving forward throughout the week, like I said. Now let's take a look at our 6 to 10-day temperatures. We've got a little bit of cold air throughout the week. That's going to be mostly up in the northwestern part of the United States. But then as we move through the week, a bit of a break. Everybody's going to love this. We warm up with these nice warm temperatures, 40s, 50s in some places down Midwest, South. And as we look to our 6 to 10-day pressures, we see that we're going to be wet all through the northern part of the United States. That's pretty much typical for this time of year. In March, it's a wet time. And then we have dry patches down in the south. Obviously, they're used to these dries. Now I'm going to send it to a break, and then we'll get back to your trivia answer.
After a car accident.
Welcome back, everybody, to Size Eyes on the Skies. Let's take a look at our trivia question and answer one more time. On this date in weather history, a strong low-pressure system came through Atlanta, Georgia, and set a low record pressure of, our answer was C, 29 inches. Our Iowa weather, Rachel actually guessed that right away. So, Rachel, why don't you tell us about that and Iowa weather?
Well, I don't know much about that low-pressure system in Georgia, but we are going to see the effects of our own low-pressure system here, but it's not going to be quite that low. We'll take a look at our current conditions right now. It's 34 degrees, mostly cloudy skies out there. That precipitation has since moved east, but we are going to see a little bit of precip move in overnight into the early morning hours. Currently, we are cloudy, and so is most of the state. There is a little bit of precipitation down to the south and east of Ames here, but for current temperatures, 30s for most of the state, some 20s up to the north where it is a little bit cooler, even some 40s down to our south and west. And for tonight, we are going to see cloudy skies, a low of around 29 degrees. That precipitation is going to pick up overnight and into early tomorrow morning. We're going to see a wintry mix, mostly snow in the early morning hours, switching over to mostly rain by afternoon, a high of around 41 degrees. Winds aren't going to be too bad out of the east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. You can see we are going to see quite a messy mix of precipitation into Tuesday as well as Wednesday. That's going to stick around. It's going to be in the form of mostly snow by Wednesday, cooling down a little bit as that cold front passes us. With that low pressure system by Thursday, only 34 degrees. That's about 10 degrees below average. But by Friday, we are going to be pretty nice for the last day of class before spring break. 47 degrees and mostly sunny skies. Looks like it's going to stick around to Saturday too. So doesn't look too bad, and the overnight lows also don't look too bad. So once we get the system out of here, it looks like it's going to be pretty quiet for at least the start of spring break.
Quite a warm-up on the way, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
I kind of like that. We've been sitting below average for far too long now. I think, what are we, about 42 degrees, 40? Well, right there.
The average for this time of today in March is 39 degrees.
39 degrees.
That's okay. Well, you know, so we're just right below average for now, but it looks like we're picking right back up on that by the end of the week. So
yeah, tomorrow it's going to be pretty messy. That's actually going to stick around to Wednesday, so it is going to be kind of like a long-lasting system, it seems like. But once that gets out of here, it's going to be pretty quiet. And it looks like beyond that, we aren't seeing the effects of any big systems within at least the next 5 days. So looks to be pretty quiet after the system moves out of here. So that's good news.
We get a little break during spring break.
A little bit. I guess you could say that, yeah.
Well, then it'll be rain when it's nicer out. So
yeah. No Do you guys have any awesome plans to go anywhere tropical for spring break? Anything like that?
Why don't you start?
Okay. We might be going south to St. Louis or Kansas City, so it's not really that far away. But you know what? It's somewhere, I suppose. But
you got any big plans down there? You going to see any shows? Any activity?
Going to Lady Gaga. Oh. No. You know, we don't know. We're going to go down there and hang out.
Oh, well, I am,
okay,
oh,
all right.
Well, let's cut over to you. Mine's not entertaining at all.
Well, I'm just making the trek back home to upstate New York. Looks like It's going to be about the same temperature as it is here, there, and maybe a little bit more rain and clouds, but no big snow systems, which was my main concern because I'm driving.
I was going to say, good for travel.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be okay. I mean, everyone can learn to drive in the rain, but snow is a different story. So at least I'll avoid that.
That's true.
That's cool. My spring break plans are I will work throughout spring break all by myself. That is
all
it.
right.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what weather's happening outside.
No.
And speaking of driving, how about those gas prices? I mean, you know, they have to be
Lord.
They're a little bit much.
Well, that isn't really our cup of tea here at Size Eyes.
You know
So
what?
with that, I think we'll end the show.
But we chase with gas when we're storm chasing. So it's
Oh, bless your hearts, folks, for staying tuned to this Size Eyes episode. Let's catch you Wednesday with Size Eyes on the Skies.